Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. This week, Sagittarius, is readings from the fairies. But one fairy in particular wanted to talk to everyone this week. The Oak Men. There they are. So yes, you are getting the message specifically from the energy of the Oak Men this week. And I am going to read from the book for you about the Oak Men and what they represent. And then I'm going to go into the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck and pull out a card for you. I'm just laughing because I'm seeing cards that have already been out this week. It's funny how they want to keep appearing. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go into the tarot and we're going to ask specifically, like if the Oak Men want to give you some guidance about what to release, what you could release, what maybe to consider embracing, any unknown or hidden factors that you are unaware of, and energy that is approaching you. Sorry, I'm fighting with my orthodontic appliance in my mouth. Just give me a second, there we go. Alright, I think we're good. There is an extended at the end of this reading. If you're drawn to it, the link is at the top of the description. You will get a unique fairy card from that reading depicting the archetypal energy of your inner child. And your inner child will speak to you in that. So we're going to get started right now with the Oak Men. The Oak Men. Alright, I have to do this because my thumb is getting sore from holding the book all week. I had an interesting, strength, ancient wisdom, and depth. I just came back from a lunch break and I'm gonna be honest, I was watching a movie. I've never watched it before. What's it called again? No Country for Old Men? Oh my god, it's really interesting. I'm like halfway through it. I gotta stop doing this. I gotta do something else. So, I'm back here with you guys. And I've read this will be number 11. But every time I read it, there's just significant parts in it that kind of jump out at me. So I hope if you've been around the channel this week that you're still finding significant parts in it for you. And if you haven't heard it before, well then listen up. The Oak Men. Strength, ancient wisdom, depth. I had an interesting lesson from the Oak Men about how we humans use fairies to mirror our own projections. The eyes of the Oak Men are a warm, light brown, but some people look at them and say, oh, red eyes, scary. I tried a little experiment using digital magic. I made a copy of the Oak Men and gave them blue eyes. I then asked some people for their impressions of the men, and words like innocent and sweet and melancholy came back. Then I changed them to an unreal looking violet and got responses like, oh, so spiritual, so wise. Had the Oak Men changed? Of course not. But what people projected onto them had. When we look at a fairy, we can simply project all of our fears and insecurities and prejudices and delusions on them. Or we can try to see them as they are. In a sense, all oracles are simply mirrors of the wisdom and confusion within the reader. But if we only look at them through our personal filters and projection, we learn very little. It is only when we actually try to see beyond ourselves that we begin to use the oracles as a mirror of the cosmos and all of its wisdom. One member of the oracle group looked at them and wrote, when I see this card, I lose all track of time. I feel deep grounding in peace, contentment. Everything is there if you just take the time to be a part of it. It is a deep homecoming for me. To me, the Oak Men show the deep wisdom of age, the inner peace and strength of the elders. This is what the Oak Men are about. Can you look at them and see them as they are? Or can you only see your own projections? The universe, like the Oak Men, is full of wisdom and compassion and strength. But it doesn't always come in pretty packages. And in the reading. This card depicts the strength and wisdom of age. It also reminds us that what we need to know, what is truly there to be seen, cannot be discovered by a superficial glance and hasty reaction. In a reading, the Oak Men tell us to look slowly and deeply into the heart of the matter and to see past the superficialities of the surface. Consider the history of the situation in depth and learn from the past. Consult others with more experience than you have. Learn from the wisdom of the elders, both those available to you personally and those you encounter in books and elsewhere. In this matter, it would be wise to make your decisions after more pondering and study of the situation. Consider motivations in depth. Take action only after thorough deliberation. The Oakmen tell us that haste may be, at this moment, our worst enemy. They also suggest that we might learn a lot from trees. Consider the trees and their wisdom. Connect with the wise old one and ask for help. So, the creator Brian, end quote. Fairies speak to us in many, many ways, and we perceive their intent with our ears, our eyes, and our hearts, and our laughter too. Oh, that's kind of funny. This is at the movie No Country for Old Men, and it's kind of like what the Oakmen are, the old men. Maybe there's no specific place for them because they are everywhere. So let's see. Let's get into it, Saggy. A card for Sagittarius. An energy oracle. An energy oracle. Well, really, it is an energy. It's a depiction of some form of energy for you. A message to you that's outside the parameters of the reading. Ooh, the horse. It's like your energy, right? I love it. Your energy, the horse. I feel like there's nothing else to be said. Your energy. The horse, the wild mare, the wild stallion. Wow, this is fascinating. It blows me away. Like, I can start a reading and all of a sudden, like, I'll get a message into my head and it takes me back to a reading I did to you. I did for you a long time ago. This is a long, long time ago. Like, probably a year ago. More. I don't even remember what it was called. But I remember distinctly about, I do now as it comes in. I kind of forgot about the reading. But Sagittarius, it was about having a suitcase. Having a suitcase. And it was full of all the things that you'd collected over your lifetime. But you wanted new adventure. New adventure was meant for you. It was waiting for you. But the suitcase, like what you would take with you on the journey, on the trip, had become so full and heavy that you could no longer do the trip. That's what I'm getting with this horse card. Because the horse carries no baggage. This wild mare, this wild stallion, they are their own suitcase, right? It's time for a trip. I don't know. I'm just hearing that. But you have to empty out the suitcase because that was the message in that reading. The suitcase was too full. You have to empty out. There's things in your life, obviously, like that you have to pull out of the suitcase. Take a look at it closely. Is it something that really has value to your life right now? If it doesn't add value to your life compared to what you could be putting in your suitcase, I'm going to leave. That's what came in with that when I saw that. That message is from so long ago. I don't even have a recollection of how long ago. Just a long time ago. It could have been over a year. For some reason, I feel like it was summer. But not this summer, like the past summer. It's funny how that works. So, let's see what the Oakmen are saying. Maybe, release this. Maybe embrace this. And oh, by the way, this is a hidden factor you are unaware of. And then, oh yeah, this is the energy approaching you. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Wow, that's crazy. That's funny. Oh, okay, we just keep showering, This is not the first time that that's happened here. I don't know if it's with you guys, but like, look at like what you're being asked to release, and then here you have the horse again. Two horses. There's a shift coming. Now, it's interesting. I just can't help but notice that there's 2 major arcana on either end here. And in the middle, it's minor arcana, and it's like 3. So, I mean, typically 3 is not an energy of balance, right? Like it's an odd number. It's just, it signifies some sort of imbalance, right? Like the 4 of Pentacles is about creating balance and having balance and stability. But so it's just really interesting to me because the Chariot is about a movement after a period of stagnation. So that brings in some sort of balance, right? Because we're going from stagnant energy to energy that's associated with movement and progress. And then on this side, you have the Justice card, which is all about balance. It's about energies coming into balance. It's about karmic cycles coming into balance. It's about contracts coming into balance, the right and the wrong being established. It just feels like there's some sort of, before I get into what the cards mean in terms of where they're sitting for their placements, there's something outside of that in terms of, it almost feels like it's coming in on it. Like it's squeezing it out somehow. Like this balance. This balance is squeezing this out somehow. And right, there's 2 horses. They both have a crescent moon. One is waxing and one is waning. I really feel like in this message, you're really being asked to set yourself free. With this horse, like this stallion, this wild stallion, and the whole reading about your suitcase being too heavy, you need to lighten it. So you're being asked to release the Chariot. I feel like in this situation, it is like allow movement to flow. Allow yourself to flow. Allow yourself to be free. You know, this horse, this one to me, this one looks like a stallion to me. And then this one looks like a mare, just because this one has a broader body and head, and this one is just thinner, more delicate looking, so it looks more like a mare. And then this one, like the hair is flowing, like it's just, there's a flow here. And the sun is, you know, kind of rising in the background. What you're being asked to embrace is the 3 of Pentacles. So this is collaborating, right? I also feel like you're being asked to embrace any obstacles that stand in your way, because there's this big mountain here with these 3 pentacles. Embrace any obstacles that are standing in your way. I mean, a mountain certainly wouldn't keep a wild mare or a wild stallion in place. If they can't go over the mountain, they're going to go around the mountain. The hidden factor that you are unaware of is the 3 of Cups. Like, and it kind of takes me to where, you know, the energy that's approaching you is Justice. Kind of how this is squeezing it out. Because the 3 of Cups is nice. Like, it's reconciling. It's kind of reconciling these energies. It can be reconciliation between you and another person or other people. There's definitely something going on here about embracing the obstacles, but I almost don't feel like you have to. Like when I was talking about, you know, the horse would not allow the mountain to get in the way. If it can't go over the mountain, it would go around it. I kind of had this visual when I said that of a horse not even intentionally going around the mountain. Just, you know, they're grazing all the time. It just kind of followed the best grass and it ended up going around the mountain. Like, it's kind of like it doesn't feel like you have to intentionally push through a mountain. If you follow the breadcrumb trail, if you follow the footsteps, it will take you around the mountain. Let's see what the clarifiers are telling us. the Justice card, right? The Justice card with the Chariot. What is over here? The Justice card. Let me see what happens here. The Three of Pentacles. The Devil and the Ace of Pentacles. Like, see what I mean? Like the Devil would be a mountain, but then the Ace of Pentacles is right here. So it doesn't feel like this mountain is really in the way. Maybe if you're focused on the mountain, right? Like if the horse is grazing and there's this huge mountain. Jeez, the thing is huge. It's wide, it's tall. But if you just stood there and thought about, I have no idea how to get around that mountain. And if the plan was, well, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to see how long it takes me to walk around the mountain. But you probably get tired and hungry and thirsty along the way. But the thing is, like if the horse is just grazing and following the sweetest grass, the grass with the most nutrients in it, the grass that it's craving that its body needs, it's going to take it around the mountain. So there is like a brand new beginning. There's something great around the mountain. You're literally being asked to embrace what feels like an obstacle, because you can find your way around it. Factor that you were unaware of. Wow, this is interesting. You got two queens here. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles in the World. I feel like there's a choice for you to make. It's two court cards, just two queens. I mean, one of them does represent your energy, but it's kind of funny. Like, oh, that's interesting. Now, the Chariot is water energy. I mean, it would be Cancerian energy. And the Justice card is Libra energy. But outside of that, I want to say like this, the Chariot card here, there's a big sun here, right? So it feels kind of fiery. And then here, this horse, we have the Earth energy. What are the two queens that are here? The Queen of Fire, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles, Earth. It's like this fire and earth are both here. And you have the World card. There's some sort of big new cycle. And it's definitely you with someone else. There's a big new cycle that you're unaware of. There's a shift here. And there may also be a really substantial shift in your energy. It does feel like, too, anything that you've been, like, if you've been in a very creative energy, like if you've been fairly Sagittarian lately, if you've been feeling very explorative, if you've even been going through periods of regeneration, I feel like this is meant to ground you. This has been meant to really, really ground you. But something is changing here. What is changing? What specifically is changing here? I can feel like a change. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, they're taking me right back here. They're taking me right back to the Three of Pentacles. What you're being asked to embrace is what is changing. It feels like this mountain is not going to be so unsurmountable anymore. That's the big change for you that's coming in. So the message really isn't changing. I'm pulling out more cards, and it continues to feel like these two more progressive energies, more balanced energies, are literally squeezing out what feels like imbalance. That's what's happening here. Okay, what do we get with the Justice card? The Justice card. The Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. This is really dropping a heavy burden. This is like the Ten of Wands with the King of Pentacles. Because the King of Pentacles would typically have a lot of responsibility. So it's really dropping heavy burden. Some sort of heavy burden. If you're not dropping it, somehow things are going to play out that this is dropped for you. And the Four of Pentacles, like this is that energy of not moving. of being very stationary. It is stable. So there is a stable energy coming through. It's just literally, I just can't, it's just squeezing this out. Tell me more about this horse here with the Oakmen. Tell me more about the horse here with the Oakmen. It is you. See, I told you. You got the Temperance card. It's you. It's everything. So I want to say that it's also confirming what I just talked about with this card. That there's something that you need to drop. Maybe, right? Like the Ten of Wands and the King of Pentacles is a very heavy responsibility. And the Four of Pentacles. In some ways, though, maybe you're hanging on to this a bit. What does the Justice card truly correct here? What does the Justice card truly correct? It feels like it's correcting something. Wow. Disappointment. Things that haven't been working out or something that hasn't worked out. The Page of Swords. I'm just here, like with these two cards together, I'm hearing like communication. So this, it feels like whatever this surmountable object is, obstacle, and it is surmountable. That's what I want to say. Like if it felt insurmountable before, you're totally going over and around this thing. And it has something to do with things that haven't been communicated like clearly in the past, or communication hasn't been strong. But there's going to be, this is going to be dropped. All I can tell you is the energy of this reading is really kind of peculiar, actually. It's a very peculiar energy. I don't know how to identify it. Yeah, see? I'm asking about the Four of Pentacles. Where's this going into the Ace of Wands? Some sort of stability is going to be achieved here for, like, really a new beginning. But before that can happen, there's an energy of imbalance here that has to be corrected, that will be corrected. It's kind of being squeezed out by space and time here. Where you haven't had movement in the past, you're going to have it. Like it's just correcting itself. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a boring reading. I don't know. It's just, there's no, right. And it is. It just feels, you know what? It feels like the most mundane stuff in life. That's the best way that I could describe this. In some sense, it feels like the most mundane aspects of life here is what I'm kind of feeding into this energy. So, let's say you just haven't had time to do certain things around the house. I feel like that's getting squeezed out and you're going to have time to do certain things around the house. If there's been things that have been like weighing on you, like heavy responsibilities like for yourself, for your family, for where you work, there's going to be a period here where you get this stability back for yourself and it kind of gives you your mojo. Like you're going to reclaim your mojo in that sense. So maybe a break. I mean, we're all coming close to the Christmas break. So, you know, it could be like that. Like you're just going to have some time here. And in that time, I feel like it's going to give you the opportunity to look at what you want in your suitcase. Like your suitcase is like this guy. This is exactly, I think, the card that likely came out when I was talking about this suitcase for Sagittarius a long time ago. Was you can't pick, right? Because you can't pick up an Ace of Wands if you're carrying all this. It was the same idea that if the suitcase is over full already, you can't add anything new in it. You can't book a new trip and find new mementos to take back from your trip because it's all full. So that part is up to you. But there's something else playing out here. Sort of, I feel like it's beyond your control, where you have new energy coming in. Like things really change. The Hierophant is at the bottom. again, I'm just kind of feeling like with the Hierophant at the bottom, that there's, you're just going to have a deeper connection. I feel like this is almost like, are you even bored? Are you bored? Like, that is the best way I could describe this energy. Like, I'm bored. It feels like you're bored. Like this is, I feel like you're bored, you're tired of waiting, you're, there's nothing exciting going on. It really feels like that. Like there's just the feeling of boredom in here. And desire to want to do, but you know, it's almost like a bit like that desire to want to do things has even been suppressed a bit. Just kind of feeling like, meh. What is that emoji? Meh. Like it's going to change, like to find inspiration again, to be inspired again. To wake up in the morning and I'm so excited about this day. What does this day have to offer? What am I going to experience? I'm feeling a lack of that in here. But yet I feel that we're being told that that is coming back. What's at the bottom here? Oh, the fox. There's a detour. That's what, oh, the fox and the cosmic egg and the snake and the shark and the thing. How is everything upright? It makes it so much harder now. I used to have such disorganized cards. I really like these three. I really like these three. Is the underline, the fox, the cosmic egg, and the snake. There is definitely, like the snake too, right? The flower of life. There's something percolating in the cosmos here, and there's definitely a detour coming up, Sag. If it feels like you've been on a really boring, ho-hum, meh, lately, I think that's going to change. It's going to be changing. I don't feel like it's a dramatic change, though. It doesn't feel like really dramatic. And it wouldn't be dramatic, right? Like if you're this horse and you're looking at this big mountain thinking, oh, I'll never get around that thing. Look at that. Oh, this is the best grass ever. You just start eating it. And before you know it, like a week has gone by and you're on the other side of the mountain. It's like, oh, wow. Like it's not like this huge, spectacular shift, but there is a shift coming. I can't say I've ever done a reading where it just felt like that. Like I feel you're kind of bored. That's what that feels like. Queen of Swords is on the bottom and then everything is reversed. See, that's getting cut out. Something's changing here. I feel like too, you'd even be excited to be cutting stuff out. It's like something, anything. Even to have like, I don't even feel the passion of an argument here. I don't feel, not that that's good, but it feels like life needs zest, correct? Life needs a little bit of zest. I don't feel any zest here. What's going on, man? I know what's going on. 2020 is going on. Cindy, what do you think is going on? Sorry, Sag. So that was that. I'm going to push this stuff down. I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'm going to do your, I'm trying to get out of this energy of feeling like, oh. You're extended. What the heck? I wonder what your, the archetypal energy of your fairy is going to be, your inner child. That'll be interesting. Alright, Sag. Well, you know, things will get exciting. Sometimes they say no news is good news, right? Good to be bored. Because then there's periods of time when you're not bored and you have like too much going on. Maybe you're looking for boredom too. Like maybe some of you have been like so busy lately, and this is an indication of an energy of kind of like boredom, like literally having nothing to do. Like I'll get up today and I'll read a bit of my book, I'll fall asleep in the chair, watch a movie. Get that too, like there's balance in all of this for us. So I really feel like you're either in a cycle of boredom or you're about to kind of go into one, but that's going to change. It's going to change. All right, that's it. I'm trying to put like more into this and I just feel like it's meh. Okay. Until next time, Sagittarius, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.